Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Marchich here with your outlook for September 20th, 2017 for your Wednesday. This is now Tropical Storm Jose. It was a hurricane for several days, and this is now a tropical storm and is going to be drifting a little bit further east today, so we should expect across the majority of our coverage area a partly to mostly sunny day. So this is going to move away. The outer band clouds that are associated with it will be offshore. May have a few of those early on far east until this thing moves a little bit further away, but we don't expect any building back into the clouds or anything like that. It should just be a partly to mostly sunny day across much of the region, except for far eastern areas initially. So that's what we're looking at today. Very warm temperatures. As a matter of fact, it's going to be warm this entire week, straight through at least our entire 7-day period, which goes through next Tuesday. Temperatures are going to be above normal, and in some cases well above normal as we head to, especially as we head toward this weekend and into the early part of next week. In some places down here by Philadelphia are going to be pushing 90 by Sunday. So very warm temperatures, and that's thanks to a ridge that's going to be building over the area. One of the main players in what will happen down the road with not only Jose, but also Maria, which we'll take a look at here in this video. Going again, no precipitation this entire week either. Not looking at anything. So your only chance for rain was yesterday. Not expecting anything in the next 7 days. Going forward from this, I'm just going to take you through this loop here, just so you can see what Jose's doing. It's going to start to do like a little loop and start coming back southwest again. Okay, and it's going to decrease in intensity as it does. And then it's going to just become basically a remnant low and post-tropical and just drift off to the northeast out of the picture, we think. So we shouldn't be dealing with any more impacts from Jose. Again, in the next 7 days, we're expecting this area to be completely dry. So this is through day 5. And then going a little bit further from this point, since this is weaker now, some of the models are starting to play games with Maria and bringing it awfully dangerously close to the eastern U.S. Eastern seaboard. So this is not something we have written off. We were talking about in past videos. We were maybe 60-40 yesterday. I'm actually going with the ensemble guidance, probably 70-30. 70% suggesting that it will go out to sea and miss the mainland, but we still got to keep that 30% chance just for something that could be a brush impact. And some of the models are starting to indicate that there may be a window of opportunity here. We have not given up. Don't take that 30% as saying we're giving up on this. We're not. 70% is probably the sensible call right now. The better chance that it goes out to sea than coming in hitting somewhere on the eastern seaboard from Hatteras all the way up to New England. But we'll keep an eye on this. That doesn't mean we're not thinking it's going to have any effect whatsoever. It certainly can. And so we're going to monitor that over the next several days. A lot of different things that are going to be playing into this to see what happens. I'll go into that in a second too. But this is the GFS model that ran at 18Z tonight. And this obviously has more than just has some fringe impacts here, similar to what Jose did, I guess, in terms of impacts. But pretty powerful system moving off and up to the northeast and just south of Long Island here. Then it heads east and into the Gulf of Maine. So. That's one of the possibilities. The European model showed something like that similar today. First things first. Here is Jose. Again, tropical storm now. This is off the New Jersey coastline, but this is going to start moving more in a northeasterly direction, and then eventually east, and then it's going to start doing a loop around like this, and then just go back out this direction. So it's going to kind of linger for the next 5, 6, maybe 7 days. But the one that has everybody's attention, of course, is Category 5 Hurricane Maria, which is, at the time this video is recorded, just before midnight. This is just south of St. Croix, and some 100-mile-per-hour plus wind gusts are recorded. Many while the weather stations on the island have been knocked offline, so it's hard to gauge what's going on there, but I can't imagine it's anything good. It does look like it's going to stay far enough south where they're just going to get the outer eye wall. There's two. I'll show you that in a second too, but then this is going to continue to the northwest and affect somewhere in the southeastern part of Puerto Rico, right here, somewhere in here, and that's going to be a very devastating, catastrophic blow for those areas on Wednesday morning. Now here's a look at the radar. Just wanted to show you this because I want to show you there's two distinct. Here's the inner eye wall, okay, and here's the outer eye wall. There is our recon plane there. I was hoping to get that data in here before I did the video, but they were slow to report. I did get a pressure here of 907 millibars, which is incredible. The lowest Irma got was 914, but we can definitely see two wind fields. There's the inner eye wall and the outer eye wall. This means that it's starting to undergo an eye wall replacement cycle. So it may weaken the wind field a little bit as far as top wind speeds. Instead of maybe 175, it might be like 160 now. But still, the wind field is spread out now, so you have this outer band almost as strong as the inner one now. So it's increased the wind field a lot, and that's not a good thing either as it heads into Puerto Rico. But maybe not getting these 175, 180 type winds out of it now. If that's a consolation, I'm not sure it is, but you know, anything over 160, obviously, it really doesn't matter. So we're going to be watching that going into Puerto Rico, again, early Wednesday morning. Now, as far as impacts after that point, it does have it going north of the Dominican Republic, near the Turks and Caicos, and just east of the Bahamas. And pretty much every model is in agreement with that. Now, the reason why there was most models were saying this is going to go out to sea. It was going to come up north and then eventually head northeast. This is look at Saturday morning, and this is the remnants of Jose still sitting here. This is Maria. You have a ridge to the east of this, okay, and you also have a ridge sitting right over top of us here, which is giving us the very warm weather. The problem is because you normally, if Jose wasn't here, these two would most likely link up, and you would have a hurricane, a very strong hurricane, heading to the southeastern U.S. coastline and causing extensive damage. I mean, it would have nowhere to go. The ridge would take it and shove it into the coastline. Because this is here, it keeps these two ridges. Here's one, here's two. It keeps these separate, and this weakness in the ridge allows Maria an escape route to the northeast. That's one theory. That's the theory the models have been going on all week. It's probably the most likely theory right now too. So again, we're waiting this kind of 60-40 or 70-30 and it doing something like that. However, today's model guidance, like this one I'm going to show you, is doing something a little bit different. It actually weakens and weakens Jose enough to almost nothing. Okay, so that the ridge that's in the ridge that's over the northeast right here and this one here are able to link up with one another. Just enough to keep this closer to the coast. If this can happen sooner, or any of these, either these two linking ridges are stronger, it might be able to force it even closer to the coastline. So it's something we can't give up on, because if Jose is out of this picture, and this weakness that was originally created as a path for Maria to following that weakness in between the two ridges is gone, because these two ridges link up as shown, we might have a problem. But that's down the road, and we have plenty of time to look at that. And that's that 30 or 40% we're giving it yet that it could still happen. Not the favorite solution just yet. But we have plenty of time to look at this now. This is now talking about, at this point, this is now 5-6 days into the future. So, again, plenty of time to look at this. Don't get worried about anything just yet. But we have seen the models go back and forth with these ideas in the mid-range and longer range, especially when you're dealing with hurricanes. These things kind of have a mind of their own. But the steering flow, trying to figure this out at day 5 or 6 is not as easy as doing it just within a few days. So we'll look at this again by the end of this week. We should have a better idea, and hopefully an eventuality of the path of Maria. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martich. That is your outlook for September 20th, 2017. Have a great Wednesday.